Well, since we're spending so much time at home with just our families or our roommates and nobody else, are you starting to get on each other's nerves? Joining us now with some guidance on how best to manage your environment to get through the weeks ahead is family's therapist, Tania DaSilva. Thank you so much for joining us. This is an important conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Okay,
It is.
For people who are working at home and they've got kids, what are some tips to keeping your cool while you're trying to get your work done and they're climbing the walls?
So that's one that we've heard a lot of this week because I think everyone's kind of settling into our new reality. So what we've been telling families to do is to really consider the space that they're working in because everybody's space is different. So thinking of how can we work within the space we have. So for some families, they've been going on shifts. So someone takes the office in the morning, someone takes it at night. For a lot of our families, they've actually included the kids as well. And the kids have started to make, in-office signs to kind of put up on the door to really get them engaged. And they've been using it during homework time too.
What about people dealing with a layoff or a business that sadly has to shut down? The financial uncertainty must be horribly stressful. How can you deal with that in a healthy way when you're stuck at home?
So that changes too, depending on the families. And I find for a lot of entrepreneurs, I've noticed everyone getting really creative and trying to figure out how they can move online, how they can adapt to the times. So a lot of families, a lot of individuals have started to use this time to really think about how can I get creative and work on my business. So that's a way to focus on what can you control instead of what you can't control. So we're all at home. A lot of us are out of work. What can you do with that time? If we're thinking about it in regards to families, this has been one that's come up a lot where because everyone's stuck under the same roof, families have started to just notice that their kids are starting to pick up on their anxieties about work and finances. So something that I always tell parents is to think about, is this a child's problem or an adult problem? So being mindful of what we're seeing in front of them, using it as a lesson on, finances in an age-appropriate way as well can be something that, we use and something that comes out of this by thinking about, okay, we can't control that we're struggling financially, but we can control kind of what we do about it as a family.
Okay, and how do you deal, what do you recommend if you're feeling, cooped up and if you feel like everybody's on top of everybody and you just need some space?
Yeah, well, and that's literally what's happened. School now is within the home, your gym's within the home, your office is within the home. So we started doing a lot of work on schedules. So how to bring in all those parts of our lives and figure out how we can adapt them under one roof. But also something that's worked really well is everyone having private time or individual time at the same time. So we've been doing this a lot with our families where maybe around 4 o'clock, everyone goes to their own area, their own room, and they just get time to unwind. For younger kids, turning on a timer and being like, when this goes off is when we're all going to reemerge and, reconnect on what we spent our hour doing.
Lastly, we only have about 20 seconds left, so really quickly, if you can give me one tip on the best way to keep your mental health in check.
Honestly, I find even this week, we've had so many new families reach out to us. This is a great time to find a family therapist and to start connecting with one virtually to help kind of guide through these uncertain times.
Tania DaSilva, thank you for all those great tips, and we hope that you stay healthy and happy.
Thanks.
All right, stay with us. Your news and weather are next. And coming up, remember when the news wasn't just all